Matt Peacock, founder of the Optimised Coach. You have helped coaches stop trading hours for income and building systems to create freedom.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start simple. What is the Optimised Coach in one sentence? Then why did you start it?
In one sentence, we take a personal trainer or online trainer of some description and turn them into a fitness business owner, because you're not taught at all how to run a business.
Yep.
That is if someone asked me in a lift.
Your elevator pitch.
100%. What was your second question?
So why did you start Optimised Coach?
Why did I start it? I was a personal trainer for a number of years, and then people started asking me that were around me, like, how the hell is your business bigger than mine because you've been doing this less time than me? So, well, easy. So I started teaching some people on the side, but just because you can do it for yourself doesn't mean you can do it for someone else.
Yeah.
You need proof of concept.
Yeah.
So I didn't charge anyone anything, and it worked. So then I got a flavour for it. But the real bottom line answer is, even when I was younger, it was, my dad's a business coach. I always wanted to be in kind of education of some description. And whilst PT's education,
It's different.
yeah, it's different. It was just the natural maturation of that. So once I realised it worked, then I started charging people like next to fuck all for doing it.
Yeah, it's gross. Obviously, you got to start somewhere.
And so they did it. And then next thing you know, actually yesterday was the anniversary of me starting it formally as the current format. Because it was 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Now it's
Group.
hybrid group 1-to-1.
So a lot of people like visuals, both have tattoos. When you say about that and think about that and the Optimised Coach, what's sort of like an image that comes to your mind?
An image?
Yeah. Like if you were to build this brand in an image, what would it be?
This is funny because it's been on my mind. It's dark and it's masculine and it's strong and bold. But the funny thing is, although Chaz and I have worked super hard to make the market and all those things, Monday I had 3 separate calls with 3 separate female coaches and an onboarding with another. So clearly it's either not that masculine, or my hunch is that they're a specific type of female, like my wife, who, in the least weird way possible, are quite masculine and strong females.
Yeah. I do feel the typical dark masculine approach is now just becoming stoic.
It's just, with most things, they become cliche. Like, for example, like our strategy session, so a sales call, the deck that I use, I give all the coaches access to all the stuff that we use. They can just have my stuff and they templatize it, but most often they don't change it. So mine was just everywhere. They're all doing the same as me. So I sat and changed it this week, making it darker. I was showing Chaz this morning, like darker, stronger, more SaaS startup, Silicon Valley kind of feel. But yeah, I feel like it's standing out with your visuals is difficult.
Oh, definitely.
For that reason.
Yeah. Well, social media's got a few billion accounts that aren't used. So everyone's got an image out there somewhere. So to find an original is difficult.
Yeah.
So I want to take things back before the brand to the person who started it. So take us back to before the Optimised Coach existed. What were you doing? Obviously you said PTing, but what launched you into that?
Not the typical went to college and did sports science like everyone. Do you know, we were talking about this before. I left school with no clue what I wanted to do. I was good at like sports. I was athletic, but I was also arty and like musical, and I really like technical drawing. I don't know what they called that in your school, but it was like graphic
techie.
Yeah, exactly. So I was really good at that. And then my girlfriend at school's dad was the careers advisor. So he was like, "There's this really good job. You should go and get it." So I went and interviewed, and it was in engineering. And I got it, and it was in mechanical and electrical engineering. So we can't really see it in here, but you'll see it all around the college, all the ductwork above the ceiling. I did that, and I didn't love it. The guy that sat next to me was in structural engineering. He's like, "Come to the dark side." So I then reapplied to get the job in that industry, that part of the industry, and did that for 9.5, just about 10 years.
All right.
So I spent 10 years doing 3D models of buildings on the computer, which, like we were just saying before, I went into the office one day. We had an all teams meeting. It was Monday. The boss, the kind of big boss, said, "We need someone that uses this piece of software." My boss says, "This guy, I'm expecting I'm going to do it remotely." And then he's like, "Okay, we need you in Melbourne." And then that was Monday. Wednesday morning, there's flight tickets on my desk. Now, bear in mind, I got married the Thursday before, and my wife wasn't coming. So that was interesting. I went for 3 months and came back just about 2 years later. And yeah, I got a lot of travel out of it, you know, all around Europe as well. And that was really good. It taught me how to manage large scale information, work in a high pressure environment where accuracy is like life and death. So if you're like 1 millimeter out with structural engineering, say I did the drawings for this building, it collapses and kills someone.
It's your fault.
And it's criminal law against the individual. So I would go to jail if they could prove it was me, which they never will. So there was a high stakes environment. And then from there, I was made redundant twice over a 10-year career because engineering typically is the construction trade is every financial crisis, nothing's getting built.
Yes, first
like
to shut down.
COVID, for example, right? It's the first thing that stops. So I got made redundant twice. And in the back end of my career, I actually decided it wasn't for me. And really weird. I was out playing pool with a few mates in town. And he's like, I've got this pal that's coming, you'll like him. We got chatting. And he's like, I run an interior design company. Like we do interior architecture, brand identity, great. He was asking me about me, and I told him, and he then said, you know, I say, oh, I'll come for an interview at some point. And he said, this is the interview. And I go, what do you mean? He's like, so basically, I just quit. I quit. I text my boss and quit with no contract, nothing from this guy. Took it, did a year and a half, I think it was about a year and a half, 2 years, and then they grew just too fast and ended up making everyone redundant. So that was my second redundancy. And honestly, Kyle, I was just like, this is, I'd said to my dad for years about the security of a job.
Yeah.
Rather than self-employment.
Doesn't exist.
And my dad looked me in the eye and was like, tell me more about the security of the job that you've lost twice in 10 years.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, yeah. So he said, what do you want to do with your life? I said, might do my level 3. And I had no money. So my dad was like, I'll pay for your level 3. Like, cool. So I did my level 3 to be a PT. And I don't really know what I was doing. But when you start a business, you don't just have
You
clients.
don't know. Yeah.
So I went into the gym. I started at Virgin Active. I got that job and I lasted less than 7 days because when I got there, they were like, the manager wasn't there to get me started that day, even though it was my first day. Oh, he slept in. It's like,
relatable.
okay, great. And then I was given uniform that was like
Too small?
XXL.
Oh, too
Like,
big.
bear in mind, I'm like
Right.
5'8",
Right.
70 kilos at this point.
Yeah.
So they told me I had to wear it. So I looked like a circus clown. And they didn't have a name tag with Matt on it, but it's brand standards to have a name. And it said like Richard or something. So I went home and got the label printer and printed Matt and stuck it on top so it said my name. Because I'm coming up and be like, hi Kyle, nice to meet you, I'm Matt.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
What's this?
yeah, what the fuck's going on? And I got told off because it's against brand standards. So, I mean, I just took the badge off, literally took the uniform off in the manager's office and said, there's all your stuff, I'm not coming back tomorrow. What about your notice period? Don't worry about my notice period. This isn't, I've done 10 years in the job. I'm not 16 years old and desperate for this employment. So I worked in a small box gym in Edinburgh, which meant there was no footfall, no members really. And if there were members, they weren't looking for a PT. So now I was reliant on social media marketing to do my own thing. And at that point, I actually ironically contacted the guy that just made me redundant and said, what's the chat here? And he said, I can give you a contract role. So I got paid more than I was before in the exact same role, working less time because I was on contract
Hours.
day rate.
Yeah.
So I was doing half drawing,
Half PT.
half PT. And then very quickly that became like 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. And then like there's that natural jump off point. So started the PT business, stayed in that gym for my whole career. It was great, but quickly realized that PT is you work 6 till 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then you work 5 till 10 in the evening maybe, which is great. And I got really good at golf in the middle of the day, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I just ended up being a bit disillusioned by it. So I thought, okay, what if I did online and took the skills that I've got from data management and everything else and combined them with the PT stuff that I just was like a certification whore. Like I just did every course I could get my hands on. And with that, then online just went absolutely mental. I can't describe it. Like it just, I struggle to compliment myself because I'm Scottish, but
Yeah.
I think I had a natural predisposition to market in the business. And because of my socialite years of networking as a, in engineering, but then also just going out and getting boozed every weekend and knowing everyone.
Yeah. You know how to social.
Because of that, though, I had such a big contact list on every platform. There weren't big followings, but I knew lots of people.
Yeah.
And so when I said I had space, everyone was just bananas for it. And it grew from 0 to £250,000 a year in 4 years. I couldn't believe I was making that money sat in my slippers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was wearing other clothes, but some days not.
Yeah.
They don't know.
You're at home.
Anyway.
Yeah. No.
And yeah, that was how I got into PT. And it's not the traditional story by any stretch, but it was fucking great. But the other part of the story, which is important to mention, is towards the back end of my PT career, my wife, my ex-wife now, and I split up, and we had Nixon, who's my son, and he was 2, just going on 2, and it was brutal because she had the house, which is great, and that's what needed to happen, but then that cost me a lot of money, and I had 4 maxed out credit cards, and like I'm okay talking about it now. Like I got to the point of being suicidal, and was like, I just don't know how to get out of this hole, and did. And so with that, went to Tony Robbins of all things, which changed my life, like irreversibly.
I was going to ask. I've watched this stuff for years, but I've always wondered what's it like there.
Life changing,
is it?
Like, but because I needed something life changing. If I didn't, I don't know. I can't speak on like if you're going and you're quite happy in your life, is it good? I don't know, but there was something missing. So I went, and it was, I can't describe it, but it was everything I needed and more. Again, phoned my dad and said he knew how I felt, and my parents knew that I was struggling, but they didn't know how bad my mental health was. And my dad could see it, and he was like, "Listen, let me just get you a ticket." So he bought a ticket, like right at the back. It was like second back row. I'm grateful for it. And I went to that, and that really fixed something, and it gave me something to wake up for again, because like
it gets hard.
As much as it was brutal, like I wrote a letter to my son, and it's like I wasn't planning on waking up tomorrow morning, but then I all of a sudden had a reason to wake up. Yeah, I'm like, there's shit to do, and that then became like just this inflection point on the graph where you've built this big thing. It's fallen off the face of the planet because you can't really run a successful business and go through
you can't do
crippling
everything.
divorce at the same time. So the business really declined. And then that point at the bottom was just like, we just took it to space at that point. And since that point, we've made multiple million quid as a business, but the more important metric is that we've helped coaches make over 50 million in the last 4 years.
Which is a lot, which is world changing for a lot of people.
Oh, wildly. Yeah.
So on LinkedIn, you wrote, "Coach, here's the truth. Do more, expect less." Tell me about that line. What does that mean for the person you were compared to the person you are now?
Good question. So do more, expect less. We live in a world where leverage, with the rise of AI especially, is like the mindset, it seems, especially in younger coaches, especially people at college age, is how little can I do and how much can I be paid? Yeah. Which is, in my opinion, absolutely fucking wrong. How much can I do and how long can I do it without being paid well for it? Which is one thing I will credit Chaz for, is,
the hustle.
Yeah, like he came in to help with no expectation and hasn't been greedy, and as a result has ended up, I think, in a pretty good position. But I mean, I'll let him make that decision. I don't like the attitude of how much can I do, how little can I do, and how much can I get. So instead, for me, it was like, okay, like the real mindset shift underneath all that at that moment in time, to tie this back, was this might take 5 years, was something that I don't know who said it, whether it was Tony Robbins or on a podcast, I don't know, but that was life changing. It was like, okay, if I just do the thing and master this craft for such a long time that it seems unreasonable that I don't succeed, then you can increase your net worth will increase over time, but not through being greedy. So like I could have up prices and I'm worth more. People, know your worth and all the rest of it. So yeah, like what did it mean back then was this might take 5 years. What does it mean now? This might take another 5 years. Definitely.
So that was Alex Hormozy that said, that. And that's something, again, for starting this, that I've had to think about, is because I feel like I'm trying to do everything, reaching out to everyone, and the views are low. And then all of a sudden, and it is the thing of, I was watching Chris Williamson, and he said, we've now done however many episodes and 1 billion views. And I watched the video and I've spoke to people around him. It's taken him 8 years.
When you look at the carousel of that, it's insane, because I know some of the guys that were on the original episodes, a couple of friends of mine, 3, and to look back on what that was. But you have to, it's a balancing act, because you have to know what you're trying to build,
Yeah.
But then I think that's sold to people in a way that is you have to be crystal clear on what you're trying to build.
No,
I was
it
never
changes.
crystal clear. I'm not crystal clear right now. I'm clear, clearer than the average Joe. But this notion that you have to be crystal clear, otherwise you're building the wrong thing is bullshit.
Yeah. And change, time, growth. Like the vision of helping coaches is there, but how that looks would be different.
And like I said to you, like when we're looking at buying a commercial unit just now,
Yes.
that was never in the tea leaves. Like that wasn't part of a plan.
No.
Like, but it's become evident to Chaz and I through the work that we're doing that
It's
we need
needed.
a space like that for the next evolution of the business. So yeah, it's definitely that it takes longer than you think. I believe that social media has been pretty damaging.
Yeah.
And you see all these videos where like it's the 0 to hero bit takes 30 seconds in a movie.
Yeah.
James Dyson says that. It takes 10
Yeah.
years to become an overnight success.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
And like the podcast for you will be exactly the same. Like you say, like views are low, but then when like Chaz and I talk about this a lot, like the views are always lower than you want.
100%.
Your bank account's
100%.
always lower than you want.
It is.
And that's the kind of part of life I'm at now is if you take views to one side and think, okay, they're not as high as we want, great. With money, there's another mindset where it's like, Sarah and I don't need to make any more money forever.
Mm-hmm.
So when's enough is the philosophical crossroads we've arrived at.
And I think that's the big thing in mental health is that social media, you see the people with everything, but they
Telling you
don't.
it's easy.
Yeah, but they also don't have everything.
No, there's sacrifice, and a lot of that gets
Missed.
intentionally missed,
Yeah.
but then like unintentionally not picked up by the people consuming the content because it's being missold.
Yeah.
I will be the first to tell you that I have given up everything other than work in order to make this work, and it's not. I shouldn't. I would never lord that on any of our clients or anyone that would ask me for advice. But everything has a price tag, and you can typically see the price tag. You just need to be okay with paying it. Is this notion that balance and a bit of this and a bit of that is, that's fine if that's the life you want, but the bigger the life you want to build, the less balance you're going to have.
Yeah. And I guess that leads on to this. Has there ever been a conflict between giving more and protecting you?
Always.
Always.
Like every day of every week. Like Chaz, like that's one of the things I would say he's seen coming into the business is from going from like an ad hoc job to head of media and brand is he shares a lot that he is now privy to what otherwise I try to share as much of it as I can.
Yeah.
And with my clients, it's complete transparency. It's like, guys, I am fucked this week or whatever. But on the internet, it's maybe not as transparent as it could be, and we're aware of that. But it costs a lot. Like I don't sleep that much. Again, not championing that. I work. Someone was on a call with me this week saying, he's already working 40 hours a week and he's struggling. It's like, dude, I probably do 70.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I don't want to dress this up. And like every coach that comes on board, I say to them, once they've paid and they've done their kickoff call, I say, Kyle, here's the thing. When we've built your plan, you know what we're going to do. They've already been in for a couple of days. I'm like, I'll give you all your money back if you don't like what I'm about to say. It's going to be hard. It's going to take a long time. You're not going to feel like you know what you're doing. You're going to hurt yourself metaphorically on the mountain that we're walking up. You're going to want to quit, but the only failure is to quit. So yeah, I've sacrificed a lot. Friendships, social life is literally nil.
Yeah.
Again, like now, but when I was at college, it's all I did. So I feel like I did all that in the first place. It's the Mosey thing about you can be an underpaid 30-year-old that's a good social life, or the other way around. So yeah, there's a lot of sacrifice. The only I would encourage anyone though that there's two lists you need: willing and not willing to sacrifice.
Yes.
The clearer you can be on that from the get-go, the better the journey will be. So my son Nixon, absolutely non-negotiable. And I'm happy to say, like Sarah, my wife, knows that our relationship at the core is non-negotiable. But the components of time and meals out and holidays are fully sacrificial when they need to be, and she's on board with that. So if you're clear of those two lists, the next step is to be clear with the people around you. Because if you're in a relationship or you're in a partnership with business or you've got friends, those people need to know. Yeah. Because if they don't, they're going to feel it. And if they feel it without being told, they're going to be pissed off. Because I've lost a lot of people along the way. But then we're back to Alex. I think it's Alex. There's people there for a season, a reason, or a lifetime.
Yes. Yep. Again, the younger coaches, 18 to
22.
Takes a lot to realize that.
It's painful because your friends are just your whole fucking life. But I wonder where this would be if I'd started at that age.
Yeah. And I guess there's a lot of identity shifting there.
Huge.
Because the social person can't do the 70-hour week, the 100-hour week. But there also can't be, like, to get in shape. It's all about PTing. To get in shape, there has to be sacrifices. Your business, there has to be sacrifices. You can't be on it every weekend, takeaways, this, that, and next thing, then step on stage in a week. Not saying everyone has to step on stage, but...
Yeah, I agree, but I think, like, I'm wondering if I had started at, like, 20 without engineering, whether or not I'd be sat here in the situation I'm in. And I don't think I would be, because I don't think I had the minerals and, like, I don't know what it is. Self-awareness, and, like, I wasn't as... Like, I am absolutely certain who I am now. And so with that comes, like, what we call in the Optimised Coach, a delusional Matt energy, which is I have, like, a delusional level of self-belief where the saying I say to them all the time is, like, I trust the next chapter of my life because I know who the author is.
Yes. I like that.
A guy who's chronically solved his own problems and, like, is capable. I don't know how to solve the problems of this level of my business. I never do, because you've not been there before. And of course you're paying for help and you have mentors and coaches. You're still doing the work.
Yeah.
But when I look backwards, there's a stack of undeniable proof that's like, there's been nothing from divorce to suicide to building a business to raising a kid that has ever been unfuckable.
And I guess the unfuckables, maybe my side of it. I started coaching at 18, not a coach anymore. And I was good. I did every qualification you can do. Still train personally, still tick the boxes. But at 18, you're not like, I would do classes, you'd have fun, but you weren't stood at the back of the room at the end being like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do the next thing. You're having a laugh. I'll see you on Friday night. And there's still that little gremlin voice in the back of my head that's like, you still love it. Should you go back? But I think...
Should you?
I spent my time, and I think the love for it's different. Like, I hated training at the end of it because eventually 21, 22, I was like, I'm not making money. My friends are buying houses, doing this, doing this, doing this. And I was in the gym and going out, and that wasn't there for me. So then the realization of what you need to have the life you want.
Sacrifice again.
And I think that was my thing. If I had started it at 22, 23, or even now, totally different. But starting at 18, it was, you see, who was it at the time? Simeon Panda.
Yeah.
Ripped, goes out, does this, does that, lives the best life, in Dubai, jet skis. That's not what it is being a PT, actually. Not at 18.
Well, maybe in the Optimised Coach.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But when you just walk into Pure Gym.
Though, like, Tom is 24. We interviewed him 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Had 2 online clients. That was a 6-figure business at 24.
Yeah.
It's there for you. We're right back to sacrifice, though. Tom was aware of the sacrifices needing made and willing to make those sacrifices. And in doing so, has built this thing. And again, like, who's to say what's right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And my hunch is that if I hadn't shaken out of me the drinking and going out every weekend and every weeknight if I could, and turn up to work hungover, I think that needed shaking out of me. Chaz and I had this chat over breakfast. Like, that needed exercised. And once that's out, I'm like, cool, I've done that. And the minute I was in engineering, it was like, all my friends, I was the opposite guy. Everyone went off to uni. I did day release at college and an apprenticeship in engineering. Yeah. So I was earning way more than everyone else because they're working in, where'd you work at college? I don't know what you do now, but they were working in supermarkets. Yeah. Getting paid fuck all. And I'm getting paid a decent salary for 4 days a week and a day at college where I did absolutely nothing. Yeah. So I had the taste for earning before I was a PT. So to go from different. 40, 50 grand of a salary to zero, there's something in that because it doesn't sound like you had that first part. So you went in from a relative 0 point. So you weren't fighting to get back to somewhere.
So I had a job. So when I left at 16, let's go. And I got a job. And it was okay money for a 16-year-old. Yeah. But by the end of the month, I had nothing. Because you go out, you party, you do this, you do that.
Spend all.
And then, so I had the 0 point. And at 18, I had made about the same money PTing. but still the 0 point. And then eventually, early 20s, I had the realization of the sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I was 3-4 years down the line, and then I was like, right, we're doing this.
Yeah.
I was in my third gym, things were taking off, COVID hits. And I think maybe if COVID hadn't hit, things would be different. Or if this hadn't happened, things would be different. The realization was there. But again, I wonder the flip side of you. If I'd had the realization starting opposing to the realization coming in, how would things be different?
But then, like, that's where, like, our mindsets are different, and that's great. It's like, for you, it's like, oh, no, COVID happened and this happened and I want it to be different. My belief, and not to lord this over you at all, is until the finger of blame points right back in your own chest,
I'm well
nothing
aware.
can be done. So it was externalizing COVID, because COVID was one of the best things that ever happened to my business. And it wasn't even Optimised Coach yet. It was like a primal version of that.
Yeah.
And PT and online coach, I was online fully at that point, but the business went bananas because I could see the opportunity in COVID, which was all these PTs have just fucked their clients off and given up and quit. So I ran a full marketing campaign on Your Coach Just Abandoned You. And I had all my clients in the campaign. And we probably doubled the business in those 2 years.
And that was, I think, part of it is I did see the online. I just didn't know where you
how to do it. You don't know how to do it. And that's every coach that comes to us starts there. Like, I know what I want to build-ish, but I have no idea how to do it.
So, you talk about optimizing life. Which came first for you? The physical work, the training, the recovery, or the mental systems? And now, which is more important?
We come back to Tony Robbins. The easiest way to change your mental state is to change your physical state. Like, no question in my mind. And so training, exercise was always a part of my life. My mum and dad are both fit. My dad's an absolute animal still. He's got a hip replacement because he does so much running. So that was normal for me. My brother was a professional athlete. So that was normal. And then finding the gym was like at 15. I was like, this is fucking brilliant. I just want to get massive. Still trying. Yeah. But that was really good for me because it taught me. That's why I think coaches are the best market on the planet. Is that they understand delayed gratification. They understand consistency, discipline. Like no one wants to go to the gym every day. No one. Not even professional athletes. But it's part of that. And so now having a 20-year lifting career of just the same shit on repeat, broken bones, like broke my shoulder and my elbow and knocked myself out on a bike at one point.
But you still go back.
Couldn't lift. So I was like, cool, looks like I'm a runner now. So I just ran in my Stookie and just took up hill running in the Pentlands and just like did 40, 50K a week and got really fit. It's never been, it's not even a moment's consideration for me. So that then built the mindset of all those things I've just mentioned: consistency, delayed gratification, discipline. But we've spoken about before where it's like that then also requires something else because, like I said, you're not always motivated. You're not always disciplined. Even disciplined people aren't always disciplined. So
there's something deeper.
Passion underneath that, which was why the changing career was super important because I was passionate about engineering. I was passionate about architecture. I was passionate about all the stuff I was doing. But passion becomes purpose when it's applied to the benefit and betterment of others, in my opinion. So I don't know the guy that's building the building. Like the guy that owns the college or the hospital, it's not a guy anyway. It's like it's a group of people that I don't know. So it was good to go and see it. Felt nice. Like we did like a couple of award-winning buildings. But then when PT became to the benefit and betterment of other people, that was like that passion, the fitness passion was like, oh, this can be a job. And other people are loving it. I'm like, right, now it's purpose. So now I'm like pulled to like, I'm up before 5 every day and I never struggle to get out of bed. Like my aura ring tells me I should. But the fact that I have something that I'm genuinely excited to get into my desk and just...
You want to get up for.
Yeah, for sure. So that's super important. And the final point I would add is building a team of people who are like that, which is one of the reasons why Chaz is such a good person in our team, is that he is such a... Like, it's not a question of if we're going to have a full day working together, we're going to go a run or we're going to train. If we go away and work, we're going to go to the gym. Being surrounded with other people that share that has been like my wife Sarah and Chaz have both been absolute force multipliers on that front. So we have like a team culture, I think as a coach, that's important. Surrounding yourself with mates.
Yeah, like-minded.
Because if
Absolutely.
you've got mates that aren't, oh, you're going to the gym again. Like, you know, you get
Yeah.
all that shit when you're in the pub.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion is the pub and those mates serving you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just turn around one day and be like,
No.
see you, boys.
Yeah.
But you can start to say no to things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So physical definitely precedes the mental. And whenever I find my mental not where it needs to be, because that happens a lot, like every normal person.
You turn to physical.
Yeah, when I was fully depressed,
Mm-hmm.
I found myself on the sofa. You're in this small kind of, you're always in a really, you're just small and like almost fetal. And you're like, you're not moving, your steps have dropped and your training's dropped. And I couldn't work out why my head felt like shit.
Yeah.
And then that's when I really started going back to the training. I was like, oh, this is actually really good for me. Like the saying I've come back to for all the years is I'm less of an asshole if I train a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I exercise the asshole in the gym so that doesn't come across to everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely that bit of you you've got to burn off, which I've noticed.
Yeah.
And that's why I work out in the morning. The rest of the day,
Same.
far better person.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't have whatever the hell it was I woke up with. I disdain for life beyond a certain point.
Yeah. So on Instagram, you posted a case story. Before joining OC, this coach was struggling. He lost confidence. Walk me through a case like that. How do you see people at their worst? And what's the first thing you do with them?
So I'll use Andy as an example because he's the first guy that comes to mind because we've been speaking to him a lot. We interviewed him recently. Andy came to us. I don't know exact numbers and they're probably not mine to share in this forum just now, but he came to us and he was working on the gym floor and doing the whole cleaning treadmills and everything and like making minimum wage. Working all the hours. Like you said, didn't know what to do next.
Yeah.
Like I've got this vision, but his vision wasn't that clear. So he came and asked for help. Now, the bottom line up front here is Andy now has like a 6-figure business that's absolutely cruising, 50 grand plus in savings. I don't know how old Andy's, like 28, I think. It's a guess. Sorry, Andy, if you're listening. And like has this thriving online business. And he came and on the kind of sales call that we had, I asked what his vision was. And he said, I'd like to be fully online in a year. And I let him finish. And then I laughed at him on the call. And he was like, what did I say wrong? So we can do that in 6 months. And he's like, he didn't believe it. I was like, I don't need you to believe me. I don't need you to trust me. I just need you to try it. So he came in 5 months later, fully online, making 6-7 grand a month.
Yeah.
So what do we do first? We have an initial call, set the goal. Then we have another call to work out, like we scan their business over 7 different competencies to work out from a graph standpoint, like where are you strong and where are you weak?
Yeah.
Then him and I built the plan together. I'm a big believer in having any client build the plan with you because when they've got ownership,
accountability.
But that's the bottom line is when they're involved in the plan, they have enjoyment. And when they have enjoyment, they have adherence. And that's the thing that plagues everyone.
Yeah.
So we built the plan, but what we started with was profit, tax, task, and project management. Boring. Like no one wants to do, everyone wants to get into marketing. Cool, but like if we've got a system for managing your money, managing your time, and task management, all of a sudden now we've got some control. So we started his calendar, his profit and his tax, and his like, daily task management systems. After that, we got crystal clear on where the hell he was going, and we worked out, okay, who's the niche that you serve? A niche being a who and a what. So we've got 2 circles. They're kind of like your balls. One will be bigger than the other, and that's okay. So if your who is super tight, I help one-legged, white, like 63-year-old males. That's not a lot of people.
No.
But the what can be, I help them with, like I was going to say running, but they're probably not running anywhere. But like they're, whatever the other things like fat loss, muscle gain, like endurance, blah, blah, blah. But in the contrary, if we're going to have a super wide who, and it's like I work with everyone between 30 and 60, male, female, whatever, then the what might be more specific, which is like fat loss. So we got him really clear there. And Andy is the fat loss guy. That's his thing. Having lost a lot of weight himself, he had that story to tell. And once we got clear on that, we just went to town on, again, everyone's like, so marketing now. No. We've got the niche. We now need something to sell because you don't have an online product. So we built out an onboarding, an education portal, a client delivery portal, check-in process, communications, all of it. So they had this thing he was really proud of and got it all branded up, super sexy.
Yep.
And at that point, now we have something to market. Now in the background, of course, we've been doing social media marketing, but with nothing to sell. And when you're doing so, you stand out because everyone's trying to ram something down your throat. Now we crank it up on the lead gen, we start asking and inviting people in, taught them to run sales calls, and then we've just taught them to manage that lead gen process. And these days, the guy's flying. I got a lovely message from him last night, actually.
Awesome.
I will tell you what he said last night, because it was honestly, like, messages like this blow my mind, like every day of every week. He messaged me and said this: I've officially achieved it. Everything I said I wanted on that first call and more. I'm earning 9,000 in capitals pounds a month. I've just closed another sale in the sun because he's on holiday. I don't have to do what other people tell me anymore. Thank you so fucking much for the support. I wouldn't have achieved this without you guys, and I genuinely never will ever forget it. But also, after thinking, oh, maybe this is it, this is where I stay now, I'm just ready to absolutely fucking send it. Having you guys in my corner gives me so much belief and confidence. Even knowing there's still so much I can do better, everyone thinks that's a negative. That's so good. It means there's more to do. And also just the little things like getting used as an example in coaching clinics, because we use them a lot. I remember 12 months ago thinking, holy shit, so many people are doing well. I could never do that. Anyway, ramble over. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, that's the story.
Yeah. That's the why for you.
That's fucking class to get a message like that. There's no better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, taking it all the way back to the start of that, you've got your first call. We'll use Andy, for example. What's the smallest change that produces the biggest shift in someone?
Clarity on where you're going. You'll not hit a target you can't see.
Yeah.
And every coach that comes to me, so when someone has something to sell you on one of these calls, they always start with where you are now so they can find your pain. That's the traditional sales wisdom. Find their pain, dig into it, criers or buyers. Yeah. I go the opposite way. So you come on that call with me, and I'm like, right, Kyle, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about where you are just now. I just want to start with, where do you want to go? And they're always a bit fuzzy. They just pull numbers out their arse, and they're like, they don't really know what they're talking about. And that's fine. All I do is act on that call as a mirror, because I always tell them, it's like, you're the only problem you'll ever have and the only solution you'll ever need. So I can't give you the goal.
Yeah. You need to have that.
So we start with the question, what does your dream business look like in a year's time? How much money are you making? How many days are you working? Who do you work with? Is that work online or face-to-face? And if so, which division? How much free time have you got? What do you do with that free time? And how much money are you making? And then why is that money important? And then everyone says financial freedom. And then I'd say, Kyle, what's financial freedom to you? Yeah. Because for some people, it's a Porsche. For me, it's optionality. It's get rid of the mortgage and not have to look at the price on things. So there's like those three levels of like struggle, where you start something, comfortability, and then optionality. So finding out what it means to them. And then once we've done that, giving them the one thing beyond the clarity, well, I suppose it's an extension of clarity that coaches struggle with is, all right, good, but what now? Yeah. So we give them what's called the battle plan. So it's like, this is what we're going to do. For the, like, if you join today, until New Year, this is the plan. I'm going to take them off, and then you're going to message me if you've got any problems. And they have my direct line, and they message me, and they ask. And it's like anything, like, I'm sure there are days for you. Like, is it fair to say you've got a lot to do with what you're trying to build?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. And some days 100%. You sit down at the laptop and you're just in it. Other days you sit down at the laptop knowing there's a lot to do, and there's a miniature monkey with a symbol in your head just walking around banging it, and you're like,
what do I do today?
That is the thing that cripples businesses. So giving them clarity of direction and the support when they lack that. Everyone just wants a plan. But the plan's different for everyone.
Yeah. And the plan changes. And it's allowed to change.
No plan survives first contact. Like, we go and run it. Stuff happens. Yeah. Things go wrong. Things break. Clients leave.
Yep.
Sales don't work. Your price increase flopped, or your offer failed, or like you film a podcast and the audio wasn't even working, or stuff like that. Like,
you move, you adapt. Yeah. And the other thing, obviously, with coaches and online and everything is the personal touch. So what's one practical system that maybe you don't use personally, but you get your coaches to use to help them keep that physical or human connection? So it's not just, I went on this website, here's this, and I've done a sales call with someone, and they just send me
Sandra in London signs up, and it's like, there's your stuff, bugger off, you're just an internet person that sends me emails once a week. Right? That's the problem. But Good question, because what does the P stand for in PT?
Yes.
So it's like, how do we include that in online? For us, online people struggle with that.
Mm-hmm.
And with the rise of AI, the rise of working from home,
Mm-hmm.
people are isolated and not got any connection in their life anymore. So if like most people speak to ChatGPT more than any other human being.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we always, like with every coach, like there aren't many blanket every coach rules in the OC. It's very much like, what do you want to build? And if we can help build that, we'll help. But if we can't, I'll tell you who can.
Mm-hmm.
But for all of them, it's events. Like, let's get people in a room as often as possible. And that room doesn't have to be a room. Walk a hill.
Yeah.
Take them for coffee. Like, play fives. One of the guys is a football coach. Like, that's what he does. He helps athletes. So like, just get a pitch, hire the 5G.
Have a 5G. Yeah.
So he does that, and getting them together is really important. And I know you kind of dodged like, what do I do? Because it felt like, you know, what if your clients listen and like it's like it's not a secret. Like we do Ibiza. We did Ibiza last year and 2 years ago,
online.
Which admittedly is an incredible expense because we don't charge them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ticket costs, but we get the guys together, and Ibiza over the last 2 years has probably cost me 150 grand for 2 trips, which is a lot of money to make nothing off it. And when business mentors look at it, they're like, this makes no sense. To me, it makes more sense. We get them together, we educate them, we get a boat, we go swimming in the sea. It's my favorite part of the year. It's like when we're out swimming in the sea with a bunch of people that are clients that have become friends with each other and with me. That's hard to beat. So getting your people together as much as possible, but then making your coaching service more than just check-in and response, because that is the merry-go-round of doom.
Yes.
It's like, how do you make people feel like they're part of something bigger than them? And the people that get this are the coaches that come from elite sports or any form of sport. So you played rugby, you had a badge in your chest and you were part of something. Cool. So how do you make that feel in your business? Well, events is going to be it. But then having some sort of internal kudos system. So like, you're reading and seeing social proof that we've posted on the internet, but sharing that internally as an internal marketing strategy. They all start gassing each other up. But then Andy himself being like, I got used as an example this week in front of all the coaches. Well, that's made him feel good.
Yeah.
It made me feel good. And the other guys all feel good because like, oh, well, this guy can do it.
And they're a part of it.
So they all feel gelled. And like, there's a group of the guys who, they got a villa the first year in Ibiza. I think it was the first year. And they've become this weird little group of, how would you describe it? It's funny, isn't it? Like a little group of them that they do everything together. They do content together. Awesome. They get houses together when they're away. And we got a message from Poppy, which I actually got this afternoon, just saying how much she feels that she belongs to something beyond the 4 walls of her office.
Well, the biggest epidemic just now is loneliness. So
no question.
Why not remove that? Because especially when you're online, you're sat in a room, you've got your 4 walls, you've got your computer. Take that away.
For the right person. I mean, I'm all right with being lonely.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
But
I
you do
am
Ibiza.
abnormal.
Yeah.
But even without that, I would not do any events all year round from my own personal loneliness. I'm good with it. But I realize I'm an outlier.
Right.
And coach, I remember being a coach and just thinking, you just question everything. Even having a sounding board to be like, Kyle, is this a good idea? Like, what do you think? And you're like, yeah. And then we talk about it for 10 minutes. And I'm like, all right, that helped a lot. As a personal trainer, especially if you move online, you're used to multiple hours with multiple humans back to back.
Yeah.
Talking all day.
Yeah. So personal time's needed.
But then you go online, what happens? You get all that stripped away from you, and it's like, oh my God. Like, I don't speak to any human being anymore besides the postie.
Yeah.
So that's very important to make sure that people have got that connection. So every coaching business, realistically, with something bigger than just the check-in responses, so events, meetups, and internal kudos system, and some sort of community, because we use WhatsApp community. That stuff is the ultimate indirect retention play. Because let's be honest, like if you can, like it's cheaper to retain than it is to acquire a new client. Yes. Great. Well, how do we do that? And oftentimes the education around this is kind of underhand. Down sells and like squeezing people when they're trying to leave. Whereas like, what if you just made something that they didn't want to leave? And so when the reason people don't leave is because they can see a future, a compelling future with you in it as the coach. So people leave when they run out of future. So your job as a coach is like the future creator. Is, right, Kyle, we're in this phase just now. We do this, this, and this, and then maybe there's this event, and then you're going to do an event. And
Yeah.
There's reasons to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you run a marathon, or any form of run, I've never run a marathon, so that's an assumption. My wife just did a half, and at the end you can sign up for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got high endorphins.
Yes.
Now you're locked in for next year.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running events, if you have an omnipresent, perpetually booked event,
you're going to keep coming.
People will stay, because if they were on the fence, like one of our clients, Ollie, said he just ran his first event recently. He's like, guys, I think I need to get another one booked in straight away. They're all asking. I'm like, 100%, because if it's in for January now, anyone that potentially wobbles between now and then, that might just be the single reason that they choose to just, I'll see it out till January because I want to go to that event. But then they get over the hurdle and they're like, oh, I feel good again.
Especially in January. You've had all the highs, the lows of the gooch between Christmas and New Year. And then you've got that thing to look forward to.
100%.
So your website promotes coaches will stop trading time for money. Mm-hmm. Share some moment that you personally stopped at. When did you start changing the in-person time to, well, spending all the 60, 70, 80 hours a week on the gym floor to then not? What was the moment? What was the shift? Was it conversation? Was there something, or was it just natural progression?
I don't think there was one. It was like the move from drawing to PT. It was gradual. Mm-hmm. But then there comes a point in that jump off where not everyone should be fully online, and we're not the mentorship that's like all of our clients should be fully online. If you want to do some PT, knock yourself out, we'll help you build that. But for me, I want it to be fully online. Mm-hmm. But there comes a point where you've got those last few hangers-on PT clients who will PT with you until one of you dies. Yes. Right? And they're lovely, but they're not going to get transformations either, because the transformation they came for is regular exercise, not something you can market. So they become a ball and chain because it's safe, easy money. You could literally turn up pissed and they wouldn't care. So the hardest point was explaining there was a few mums that I had who were just like the loveliest people. Ali and Fiona are the first two that come to mind. And they were just the loveliest people. And genuinely, I don't think they ever would have left PT. They just liked it. And they still go to the gym, because when I went back in the other week, they were there. And it's lovely to see. But it was hardest to let that go, because it was like...
Yeah, the social aspect.
Yeah, and they were friends. So, I don't know if there's a jump off, but in terms of helping coaches to stop trading time for money, everyone reaches a perpetual ceiling in PT where you can work more hours, be my guest, but I mean, you already know how you feel on a Friday night. And you can't really work in the day, because who doesn't work in the day? Well, there are two camps. There's extremely wealthy people who may well pay you, and there are unemployed people who can't afford PT. Yeah. So you reach that natural ceiling that you just can't grow anymore. And that's when people realize that they're trading an hour for 45 quid or whatever it might well be. Yeah. Whereas online, it's not attached to your time. And if we can teach people to be super efficient and automated with, GPT and Zapier and all this other jazz in the background, caveat to that is we would never, ever teach any coach to automate anything that's client facing or deliverable. But all the back end bullshit admin, you can leverage AI for almost all of it now. That all happens. So now you're left with a check-in and messaging. Yeah. Well, that's not going to take me an hour. And my hourly rate effectively becomes much more than 45. I've now probably tripled my capacity for clients, maybe 5x'd it. Well, bingo. Are we still trading time for money? Are you always?
Yeah. You're leveraging it differently though.
Yeah.
And that brings us on to earlier. You said you'd built $250,000 coaching business in 4 years. What were the three biggest levers you pulled on to reach that?
So first was leveraging my existing networks. So I didn't have an Instagram page or anything like that. No. Like I did, but I had no one on it. So I just went on my personal Facebook and was like, I'm in this gym. I'm PTing. Hit me up. Like something that casual. And I had been the fitness guy in every office that I've ever worked in. So it was the obvious, he's doing that now, right? Because I've been giving out free advice for years. I got really busy from that. But then once you've got that first glut in, the next step is like, you've come in because you work with me in an office. I'm like, Kyle, who else do you know? Not do you know anyone else, but who else do you know? Who else do you know that would be keen? Because do you know anyone else? You're like, I'll think. Yeah. Who else do you know? It's like, give me a name. Yeah. say 10% of the people recommended someone. Okay, cool. Well, we've now gone from 10 to 15 clients. At that point, now you've got enough clients to be getting some form of tangible, marketable proof. Now, my first content, as with everyone's, was appalling. But the social proof did what social proof does. And people were happy to be tagged and share it because they were proud. So then more people saw it. So now we're leveraging other people's stages. And I was saying to Chaz over breakfast that then I got invited on a bunch of podcasts as a coach, which then just more people found out. And naturally they saw the proof. So it kind of snowballed from that. First, the warm people that already know. Second, asking who they know. Third, social media marketing. And then fourth, it's just, and this is where people, I think, mess this part up. They then think there's some like secret strategy. It's more the same stacked. So how do we turn those levers up? Because coaches launch straight into the fourth category. If we think about Hormozi's marketing, they go straight to ads. I tried. I'm not gonna lie, I wasted money, and I immediately realized I was wasting and stopped it and never tried again until we ran ads properly as this business. But all of that money came from zero ad spend. It was just me grafting on socials. And when I spoke to the coaches probably a year ago now, I'd had the Instagram account for 8 years, and I had technically posted more than once a day for 8 years straight. So there's that. I am a horribly consistent person. And so those things that I've just mentioned with the compounding effect of consistency,
that's it.
Mastery of craft. Making sure that you're on top of your game and getting better results and better results and better results. Because when you get that first banger result, like good one, not like so-and-so lost a couple of pounds. Like this guy is absolutely diced. If whatever the transformation is for you, mine was photo shoots. That first guy that was covered in oil and done a photo shoot was like 10 leads overnight. Like, right, hold on. We're on to something here. And that probably was part of the problem with letting go of Ali and Fiona, because they were never going to do that. But they were preventing me from having the time to do more of that.
So which of those, do you think is the most underestimated by the coaches that you work with?
Volume of reps on socials. It's the quality quantity, the conundrum on socials. Should I go for quality or should I go for quantity? Well, again, it's Hormozi. Quality is a function of quantity. If your first 100 to 200 posts are going to be crap anyway, like full stop, like not question. If they're going to be crap, should we just do them as quick as we can?
Get them out of the way.
Let's just get them done, because you're going to learn all the lessons at those first 100 posts faster. I inadvertently did that. I just started rattling Instagram, and stories came up at that point, because stories wasn't a thing when I started.
No.
IGTV. So stories was great, and it's just been consistency over a large period of time where it doesn't matter how I feel. Like, so here it is in a nutshell. When a coach comes to me and says they're not making content, they're not a suitable fit for the Optimised Coach, because it's not my job to convince someone that marketing their business is a good idea. You
have to want to do it.
I'll help you refine your strategy. But if you think that marketing your business is too much hassle, there's nothing I can teach you.
So you talk about the sales call slalom, showing up as yourself rather than reciting a script. What does that framework look like on like a step-by-step?
So the problem with sales calls is that someone comes in and there's no training for the prospect. But there's training for you to sell. Now, if they don't know what's meant to happen, you need to lead. So they come for confidence and clarity and direction. Great. Now, taking that to one side, and our ethos on sales is important to precede this, is I'll go as far as saying that we don't teach sales in the Optimised Coach, which blows people's minds. We teach getting hired, and there is a gargantuan difference between those two things, because I sell to you, you hire me. If my goal is that you hire me, then I can lead with genuine curiosity and ask a bunch of questions about you and find out about you and find out what's bothering you and go, why, do the 5 whys, find out more about you, propose a plan, but only once I know I can definitely help. But if I'm selling, I just rush into like, okay, let me tell you, this is how it works. This is how many check-ins you get. This is our app, and you talk about features, not benefits. So all that out the way, if I then teach you to sell, using a script. You're like, hello, my name is Kyle. I run a business, and this isn't working.
Yep.
So we have no scripts or anything, but we do have slalom. So if we think about a top down of a skier, we've got, slalom 1, slalom 2, slalom 3. You're going through these gates. We'll define the gates with the coaches. How you get from gate 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 is entirely up to you. And it will be guided by the Kyle on the qual.
It's the natural flow.
Yeah, it's just like these are the things you have to tick off. So in essence, the very first thing that needs done on any good sales call or get hired call is, everyone thinks it's this rapport thing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And they waste 10 minutes talking about the dog. Just like, hey Kyle, how are you? Good. Yeah, good morning so far. Yep, great. Listen, the first thing I tell coaches to do is don't waste so much time on rapport. Second of all is don't thank them for their time, which sounds weird. But if you come on a call with me and you're like, thanks for your time, I would say you're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm the prize, and the prize doesn't chase. It's not that I'm not grateful for your time. It was the framing. So I have the power frame. So they move into the first thing, which is an agenda, which is, Kyle, here's what we're going to run through. And like, blah, 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 blah. And I always make the joke, it's like, listen, I'm a married man. I'm used to being told to shut up and that I'm wrong. So if you don't like any of this, just tell me. It's your call. I want you to get the most out of it. Then I say to them, like, what's that agenda? Find out where you're at now. Find out where you want to go, and find it, and we'll plan the journey together. I say, does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, listen, here's the thing. At that point, I'll ask you if you want to know more about the Optimised Coach. If you don't, I'll send you everything we've done, and you can go on with it by yourself. If you do, I can explain how it works, but that way I've asked you if you would like the pitch information, and it's a permission to pitch as opposed to unsolicited pitch, which no one likes. So we go through the agenda, we explain that, and then, it's simple as that. Kyle, like, what brought you to my door over someone else's? So you're going to have them sell themselves on you. And you can tell straight away whether they've just found you on the internet, and this is probably not a great start. And then also is what makes now a good time to make a change in the business. So they sell themselves on now and you. Then we move into where they want to go, where are they, bullet points, clear their vision. Where they are is usually very clear. Define the gap. How many £1,000 is that per month? How many £1,000 is that per year? What feeling have we got that we don't want to have? What do we not have that we want to have? And then we just build out the plan, and I ask them what they need help with and which one's most important to you. And in reality, we build the plan custom every single time. Yeah, there are frameworks and rubrics that underlie it all, but it's bespoke every time. And then once you've done that, rather than being like, so what we do is you go in this app and it's the same for everyone, we're back to personal training. We explain that, and then once we've done that, I just literally ask, listen, does this sound like what you're looking for when you go in touch? Yeah, it does. Okay, great. Well, here's the thing. I said I would ask, do you want to know more? They always say yes. And then we explain how the pricing works, because there's different pricing options for the Optimised Coach, and once they've got the pricing point, they know, and it's the exact same framework as they will teach every single coach. I'm a big fan of a mentor that does what he teaches or she teaches, as opposed to if they're doing A and teaching B. Yeah. Come on, what's going on here? So that's exactly how we do it, and we just make sure that every coach has a clear guarantee in place. It's either conditional or not. So ours is completely unconditional. Yeah. Like if you don't like it, fine. 25 days, tell me it's crap. Tell me you don't like it, and I'll give you all your money back. And
I think having that safety net for a lot of people, if they're buying in, they're buying in. And I do feel that safety net of, what if it's not for me? You take that away.
Our market specifically, coaches, have typically had a bad experience somewhere else, and that's not to throw stones at anyone else. I truly believe that a coach of any description is like, you didn't invent progressive overload or anything like that. I didn't invent BDSM, business development, sales and marketing. Yeah. But I do have my ethoses and beliefs on it. When you find the guy or the girl that you gel with, that's the most important part. So not to throw stones at any previous people that they'd worked with. They just haven't found the guy, girl for them. The occasion, yeah. So when they find that, they feel good. The problem is they are often semi-scarred from a previous experience where they felt like they've been chucked in a big sausage-making machine and just forgotten about. So just say to them, like, here's the thing, dude. Like, I back this that much that, like, it's completely risk-free. All the risks on me to deliver what I'm telling you we can. And in 4 years, we've had 2 people ever use it. One of them tried to set up a mentorship under a thinly veiled pseudonym the next day. And I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's standing on Lego.
So say that, we'll take it even away from coaches. How would you, or what one piece of training would you give to someone who's naturally shy if they're doing the slalom high run sales call? Yeah.
the first person you have to sell is yourself.
Mm-hmm. So sell you opposing to sell them.
You will not sell me something that you don't believe in.
Yeah.
So you're believing in your product yourself. And this is why I said to you before, it's like, we don't just rush off into marketing. It's like, let's get something that you're really proud of.
Mm-hmm.
So selling yourself, having something that is robustly high quality, that has value baked into it, that isn't just check-ins. It's bigger than that. It's better than that. In a way that you have proof that it works. And then understanding that belief in, listen, not everyone's a confident person. I wasn't a confident person. I am one of the most confident people I know now, but I faked it till I made it. Yeah. My mum said that. She used to just hide it. Mm-hmm. And I just believed my own nonsense after a while, do you know? Yep. I realize it doesn't help a huge amount with someone in that situation, but it's a case of, I think we need to go right back to where does confidence come from? Like, you need to identify, like, how would you know you had confidence? And what are the actions you could take to get confidence? Because we're looking at a problem as opposed to an opportunity. So, like, the opportunity is, how would I get confidence? Well, what does confidence look like? Evidence that I can do it. Because, like, if I ask you to stand up just now, you're not like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do it. You've been doing it for years. Yep. But when you were 1.5, if you could understand what I was saying, you didn't have a clue what you were doing. Yep. So reps.
Undeniable proof.
Practice. Like, we encourage coaches to get on fake sales calls with their pals. Mm-hmm. Very few do it.
But it works.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
But then one of the reasons why people don't have confidence is that fear of awkwardness. And so my wife Sarah is always saying, why on earth do you not feel awkwardness? Mm-hmm. Because we were in a 5-star hotel not long ago and the hot water wasn't working in the room and they were absolutely useless. So I'm at reception in my boxers at like 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. And she's like, how can you do that? Like, it's like, why are you so confident with it? It's like, it's not confidence, it's an absence of awkwardness. It's not the presence of confidence. Yeah. But awkwardness is something that you apply.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, every situation is awkward and not awkward.
It's how you look at it.
For sure. So like, I'll complain, not in an arsehole way, if something isn't good. Mm-hmm. I have no problem having a discussion with the person. Like, I don't know if you saw on my Instagram when the sauna arrived that hadn't been painted.
Yes. Yeah.
And the guy's saying to me, oh, well, we'll not be able time to paint it. I have no problem looking him in the eye and be like, well, we better find time to paint it because I sure as hell haven't.
Yeah.
That's where that's going to come from. So it's practice, it's reviewing awkwardness for what it is, and it's questioning the last question rather I would ask is like, why are you not confident? Where's that coming from? And once you've identified that, because they'll be very independent. It might be that you know the service is a bit crap. Mm-hmm. It might be that you've just not done that many sales calls. Mm-hmm. Well, the first one is obviously solved by having a better product, which we can help with, or you can find out in multiple ways on the internet. The second one is solved by reps. I don't really know what other way you can have awkwardness. It's the final one I would say what we see is that they feel salesy.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have a training by one of the most amazing humans that I know who's part of the team called Sean, who he's not a mindset coach. We don't really know how we can title it.
Okay.
Mental flexibility, I suppose. Mm-hmm. It's called Your Duty to Sell. Mm-hmm. When you understand the impact of the coaching that you deliver, there's no salesiness about it. I know I can change a coach's life. Not just a big bank account, but like the relationships that are fixed, the security, the financial freedom and all that comes with it, and their kids and their partners and mums and dads. Like I was saying to Chaz this morning about hiring my mum and dad. Like when you know the impact,
you know why.
I don't feel weird about selling the Optimised Coach to anyone. Mm-hmm. So understanding that your duty is to sell and selling is just serving. And one of the biggest, here's the nugget to finish out, takeaways I can give anyone is, if as soon as you can separate, because it's money psychology at the end of the day, mm-hmm. if you can get to the belief that money is just thank you notes, because money's not real, we made it. Yeah. It's just thank you notes. Mm-hmm. And then fun tickets in your bank account.
Yeah.
Once you realize that, it's like, I don't feel weird about asking you for several thousand pounds. Not one bit.
Yeah.
All of it comes back to reps.
It's worth the thank yous.
10 times over.
And I think my other thing on embarrassment is a lot of people, even if you're taking a step away from coaches and just in general, it's the cringe or the awkwardness.
That's what we were talking about before.
But I was watching, it was an actor, Austin Butler, and they were saying, how do you get into such big elaborate characters and you just do things? And he said, you was with someone and they said embarrassment is an underexplored emotion, go dance in it.
Fair, yeah.
Because the worst thing is a good story comes out of it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I would say it's been true in my life as well. It's embarrassing stuff happens to me every week with this many clients, like on stage, and things stop working and mics won't work, and the AV at one of our events was appalling, and it was it was actually in the W, a really good hotel.
Yeah.
But their AV was appalling. They just opened, but,
Yeah.
and to all intents and purposes, I think it would have been a very embarrassing situation for a normal person. I was a little embarrassed because I'm like, it's a representation of our brand,
Yeah.
but it's then how are you responding?
But the two things you take from it is either a lesson or a story.
And you're going to be judged anyway.
Yeah.
Like we said it before we started recording, it's like people will judge you whether you do or you don't. So, I mean, what's left? What are you left with? Like, again, you're now either handing all your power away to the people judging you, or you choose to just possess all the power and be like, well, I don't really care. Because when I started making content, I know people poked fun at it. I'll be honest, it wasn't a big problem. It wasn't like loads of people were like roasting me for it, but I got the occasional comment or comment on it or comment in the pub. And then when I started doing business coaching, I remember people like, all right, Richard Branson, like, again, like, I mean, thanks for your opinion. Like,
Great.
I can just separate that. A good book on this actually is The Alter Ego Effect by Todd Herman.
Okay.
So being able to separate podcast host from Kyle, because you're going to have difficult, like you're end up with an interviewee that is just like, you can't get anything out of them.
Yeah, I had that.
And you're dying inside when it's happening. You're like, oh my God, this is the worst. And you're on camera and sweating now. But if you can separate, like for me, it's like you hear no a lot as a coach, or in business, any business, you'll hear no a lot. It's the Optimised Coach is who I am when I sit down at my desk.
Yep.
He hears no a lot, and it's death by 1,000 cuts. The minute I go out the office and chill with here, I'm just Matt again.
Yep.
And the book, essentially, to give everyone the TLDR, is you should have some sort of totem that you put on or otherwise wear. So it can be a uniform with the Optimised Coach on, which I try to wear most days. Or you can get a set of glasses that you don't even need that have got clear lenses. And they become, when you're wearing them, you're Clark Kent and
the Superman effect. Yeah.
It's a really good book. And so that's another way of you being able to create a character for yourself. Kyle might be the least confident, shyest person I've ever met. But the minute he puts the glasses on, you can just be anyone you want to be, because this person doesn't know you.
Yeah.
And
like
sooner or later, you believe your own bullshit.
Yeah. Belief in your own bullshit is, I think, especially for me, doing interviews, it's your biggest sell. If you believe it, they'll buy it.
It's belief in a stance.
Yeah.
Will they buy it? Because, I mean, how do they buy it? How do they know how to buy it? Do they agree with the price? They might buy the idea, but people are drawn to people who believe. So if we look at Trump as an example, no one's unclear of their opinion on Trump. Right? And I'm not genned up on American politics, but I've got an opinion. I'll spare you, but I have an opinion. But the people in America that agree with him can see the stance and hard agree. And the people that disagree, hard disagree. And that's how someone ends up in power. So it's the same thing with coaching or selling any business. Is if you've got a clear enough stance to roll it. That's why a lot of podcasts fail, in my opinion. It's like it's just someone with a wishy-washy, middle-of-the-road opinion. They get guests on that are safe.
Yeah. And on the note of safe guests, I want to talk about Hormozy. You spent some time shadowing him. How did that opportunity happen, first off? And then what were you hoping to get from it beforehand compared to what it ended up being?
So, bought his books. First two probably at that point, not really sure. Actually, there's a funny story about Chaz in this. So, first two books, and then I got hit with like this like ad, and I immediately clicked the link, and it was like you can apply to work with us. So I sent it to my mate Ben. I was like, bro, or was the other way around? I can't remember. We found this ad. We both apply, and we're both champing at the bit. Like, we got a sales call booked. Like, I was like 11 o'clock or something like that. I'm booking at like some mad time. This guy phones, and I'm like, I don't care what the number is. I'm in. Like, I didn't tell him that, but I'm like, I'm in. And it was multiple £1,000.
Yeah.
Ben was in as well. I said to Sarah, do you want to come? She said, that's a lot of money. I won't bother. So she didn't come. We went, and Chaz had probably done one photography gig for us at that point, and it was like he was just there, and our photographer didn't turn up, so he'd done that. Phoned him. I was like, what are you doing next week? Like, nothing. He's like, do you want to go to Vegas? We're on acquisition.com. So we took Chaz. What did I expect to get out of it? I didn't know, but I
Okay.
had such, again, belief
Yeah.
in what he'd marketed up to that point that it'd all been very helpful. Everything that I'd done from a book or a podcast or a YouTuber, anything of his had worked.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what reason have I got?
Undeniable proof.
Yeah, there you go. So we went, and I wasn't really sure. And if I'm honest, on reflection, Kyle, it was great, but it was here, and I was here
Okay.
for a large part of it. Like the people in the room, oh my God, the amount of money people were making. Like I was embarrassed by
I can
my
imagine.
numbers. So both Ben and I took away from it that there's always someone with a bigger dick and a faster car.
Yeah.
But that motivates me as opposed to demotivates me. I didn't come away deflated. I just couldn't get a hold of a lot of the stuff I was taught, but I wrote it down and captured it anyway.
Just in case.
And it's become useful already.
All right.
So, yeah, it was a lot of stuff. There was, Layla talked about hiring, which we've got wildly wrong before. Alex talked about the Mosey Money Minute emails.
Yes.
Essentially, what Alex taught was hundreds of those, which were super useful, super tactical. And then we got to sit with every one of the directors of different departments.
All right, okay.
So Caleb Ralston was one of them. So we sat with Caleb, just round table. I'm not going to lie, I was hungover as hell that morning. And he's like, you got a question? I was like, you're going to have to come back to me just now because I'm just arrived and I need to put myself back together. But he was a legend, and all the different people. The sales director was interesting as well because he was 22.
All right.
But he was an animal.
Yeah.
So just being able to pick their brains was class.
So did you see anything Alex did repeatedly? Any small habits, any rituals, and that you kind of thought, yeah, I can steal that?
Literally none of it.
None of
it? This is the thing about authenticity. If you are, as I see you on the internet in person, there are no surprises. Surely that is the most authentic version of someone. It's like if I listen to the podcast and you speak away, and then I meet you in the street,
And it's different.
and you're speaking different, what's that? And for him, it was just
Anything you
it's
see.
like a 3D version of the internet. I'm like, oh, right, that was, I hadn't actually gleaned that insight until you asked that question. So it's an interesting insight that, no, but yes, the thing that I learned was,
Alex is Alex.
it's just you get what you see. It was the same guy. Interestingly, he was like, I didn't want any photos with anyone. 0 photos.
It's interesting.
I don't know why. He didn't give a reason.
Just no.
He doesn't have to.
No. You're there for him anyway.
Get out.
So was there anything that you thought or already understood about the business before those 40 hours with him compared to after? Any preconceived ideas that changed?
I mean, most notably just breaking down the numbers, all the numbers that he mentions, the big boy business stuff. When you're listening to all those acronyms, you're looking at your TAM and you're looking at EBITDA and all that stuff. Do many business owners really have that firm a handle? I think people have got a bit of a handle, but we got a handle on it. And it was surprising to look at the numbers. But yeah, there wasn't a huge amount of huge big bombshell moments. It was interesting to get an insight into what acquisition.com looks like inside and feel how do they run this? Yeah. Because it wasn't glitz and glam. It was
but from Alex,
go in and there's a fridge of energy drinks. Knock yourself out all day long, guys. Which I took liberties with. And they did a practical thing where you had to build a tower where you've probably done one at college. Everyone does something like that at some point. I typically hate stuff like that. But it was good. It was interesting. But unfortunately, because I had told everyone I was previously in engineering, and it was essentially a building task.
It was your task.
Yeah, and we didn't win. But I don't think there was anything massive that I took away and thought differently. It was more a case of here you go. Less tactical, more when I go to someone like that, the feeling that I bring back is an energy that I can't get anywhere else. Yeah. So it's why we try and do it. And my mother-in-law is terminally unwell just now, so we've kind of can't be going and doing these trips. But up until that point, we've been every year. Ben, my friend, and I was trying to go away, do one of these trips, pick something outrageous like we did Dan Martell last year in with a mate Blair. It's almost never the thing that I learn, but the feeling that I have, and that is what we think about when it comes to running our events, is you're selling a feeling, not a tactic, because you get tactics on YouTube, mate.
Yeah. And far smaller scale, but I kind of get the same feeling from the gym. see the days that I don't want to go. I go find a new gym or a gym I've not been to in a while.
Yeah, we spoke about that, yeah.
Just have a beast of a session. You're like, oh, yeah, that's what it's there for. Because the machines are the same, the people are the same, the shake-ups, the feeling that you leave with.
It's, I totally agree. It's like there's chargers and drainers for everyone.
Yeah.
And identifying what they are, because obviously the trip to Mosey was insanely expensive, and the trip to Dan in Sydney was insanely expensive. But you can get it for like hee-haw by going to
YouTube.
The gym.
Yeah, or the gym.
Or whatever it is, but finding out what yours are, like the right training will give you energy for your business. The right clients will do the same, and the wrong clients will do the opposite.
Yep.
So very much looking at that, I agree.
If you could give one Hormozy-inspired tweak about the old moving the needle type of thing, what would it be? From that 40 hours you spent with them, what's one Hormozy-inspired quote, trick, anything, or is it just the typical YouTube ones that you...
As in a tactic?
Yeah, we'll go with tactics.
I'll give you a tactic and a mindset one, because I think that's important to go. Because the tactic ones will help some and not others.
Yep.
If you are on a monthly billing cycle, and you charge your clients 12 times a year. If you move to a 4-week billing cycle, you charge your clients 13 times a year.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. Like, how can I have not seen this? Because I was previously weekly from James Smith years ago. But this is going to take twice as long as you think, and it's going to be twice as hard as you think. You just kept hammering it.
Yeah.
And it's
true.
At every level.
Yeah. No, it's true. So from strategy, we move into the deeper game, the meaning behind the hustle.
Yeah.
When you say you help people earn more money whilst building more time into their diaries, what's the underlying life for you and your clients are really chasing? Is it freedom? Is it purpose? Is it impact? Is it identity? What's the underlying that you get from most people?
First is getting them, like I said, struggle, comfortability, optionality. Let's get to comfortability. Then optionality, but what does that look like is the next problem. Finding out what that looks like for them. And it's different for everyone. For me, like, it's just, I like just doing my job, mate. Like, I like the absence of needing to do it, but still doing it proves that I like to do this.
Getting to do it, not needing to do it.
Yeah, like choosing to do it. So I like them to get to that point, but it's different for everyone. A lot of them come to us wanting, they haven't got a house. Well, they have a house, obviously, but they don't own a house, I should say. So that's a big one. That's a big part of the financial freedom for a lot of people.
So what belief has changed within yourself from going before you were the Optimised Coach to now the person coaching coaches? What beliefs changed within you as far as chasing the underlying? Has it changed?
Yeah, I'm going to be a disappointing answer here. It hasn't. Like, I believe in myself to like a level that I cannot put into words. Like, and in the wrong person's ears make you sound like an arrogant bastard. But like, I just believe in myself to a level I can never explain to you. And my belief system is that if you hang around me long enough, you will too.
I was watching a Matthew McConaughey interview, and someone said, he said much the same. And someone said, "Oh, you're so full of yourself." And he said, "But why would I want to be full with someone else?" And I think that's it. It's not sounding like an arsehole. It's having undeniable belief in you.
Based on proof. Like, and then the lack of proof to start with, it was just like, I can do this.
Yep.
Like, I've got this in me. Like, I need to go and find out, at least. And then once you do find out, no one can take that proof away. Like, if my business burnt to the ground tomorrow,
you've done it.
But I'll just do it again.
Yeah.
Because I've got the skills. They didn't go away.
So you've done it, but is there a failure that sits with you that keeps that burning? Because obviously everything's about lessons, everything's about failures, pushbacks. If you never have a failure, you never know what success is.
It's the Mosey cat and cheese thing. You know that one?
Yeah.
So, like, you're running away from something, but also being drawn towards something. I think it's helpful to identify both of them for everyone. Like, everyone identifies the goal, but it's like what you're running away from. I was running away from, like, absolutely crippling debt. That was a failure. It was a failure of a marriage. It was a failure of dealing with it. It was a failure of navigating it. It was a failure of managing my money afterwards because no one else put me in debt. there was that failure, and I ran away from that for a long time. And that is why for years, although I was earning what for most people was an astronomical amount of money, I didn't appear to be.
Yeah.
And then when I paid off the mortgage, like you can't see that.
No. You can, but no one else can.
Yeah, no one else knows that. So the reason that became the thing, like the goal in debt, when I decided that like I'm going to give this another shot, like I want to wake up tomorrow, I'm going to give this a go. It wasn't to buy a house, it was to have no mortgage. Like, let's just skip step 1 and go straight to step 2.
Yeah.
And so we bought a house that we couldn't afford. It was like massively out of our budget, and we just went for it. And then I'm like, I'm going to have this cleared in 2 years. And just sent it. And so that was driven by a previous failure. Does that still drive me? I think you'd probably describe it as a sleeping dragon.
Okay.
It's there.
Yeah.
I tend not to poke it, but like occasionally it gets disrupted and I can feel it, but I'm aware of what it is. Chaz and I sat about in the car saying that is, everyone has worse spells and better spells in business. You're just further up the ladder and they're higher numbers.
Yep.
When we have one of the worst spells, it starts to make some noise, but I don't think I'm in danger of waking it. And I'm more just driven now by like, all right, well, how far can we do? Like, how far can we take this? And like, what can I leave for Nixon? And how ridiculous it, like when people ask for goals, it blows their mind, because I'm just like, I just pick random numbers and be like,
let's go.
Yeah. We had a sales guy tried to help us at one point. It fell apart at the contract stage. He was a nice guy, just didn't work out. But he was like, how far are you going to take this? I don't know, 50 million? He's like, do you think this business is like got that in it? I'm like, I'm insulted that you've questioned that. Yeah. Like, it's not, I think. Like, just watch.
Yeah. I watched Joko, an interview with him, and it was pick a number, burn the boats, see what happens.
That's what we went to him the year before, actually.
Yes. Yeah. So, what does finding me mean to you right now? Like, in the person you are, and how has that changed in the journey that you've been on?
I mean, it's a good strapline for the journey. It's, I didn't know in the engineering in the first marriage who I was, and it hadn't found me. Then Tony Robbins and everything else. And then I if I was to, let's do it. Like maybe that was the finding me moment where I'm like, all right, there's something else here. I'm going to go and find it. And then now I'm very confident on who I am. Like I'm not. I don't care if you like me, and I don't care whether like. People like, I like people to feel good after they left my company. I really don't give a shit. If you're having a bad day, I would like you to feel better. Yeah. But like, I'm just me. And that is one of the reasons that Chaz became such a big part of the team. We had this discussion this morning as well. We're pretty hard to work with as individuals. We're bullish. We're clear on what we want. We're not, I wouldn't say I'm a team player as such. I have always struggled in that environment. I went to a group interview once in engineering and told myself I would let them have to do this physical task. No one said anything because they're all young. Right. I've got my red power tie on. I'm like, right, guys, has anyone got an idea? No, right, okay, listen up. Here's what we're going to do. And I failed the interview because I just dominated the group program. I've got good ideas, and if you don't like them, that's fine. Yeah. I'm going to go and do it over here if you don't want to do it there. So.
Yeah. And you can't climb the ladder if you're not sure about the steps. You've got to be sure-footed.
For sure.
So if someone's listening to this and thinks, I want a business that funds my life, but I have zero systems, what's the first 3 steps you'd give them in the next 30 days?
Number 1, define what funding your life looks like. Because that means absolutely nothing to me, and it can't to them either. So fund your life. All your bills are paid, and you feed yourself. You've funded your life, but you now don't do anything, and you can't afford clothes or shower gel. Yeah. So we're in a bit of a problem. So define that. Definitely. Beyond that is getting crystal clear on the why behind that. Like, what is the life that you look like, that you want to have look like? So it's not just that funds my life. It's like, well, what does the life look like, and how much do you estimate it costs to fund that? Once we've got those 2 things, then we can work back to, okay, well, where are you now? And all I would say to them next is, what's just the first thing? Not the right thing. Yeah. What's something you can do now? Because you're going to sit and think about it. And you're not going to think your way out of this problem. The only way out is through. So you best start walking. If you're lost in the forest and you don't know which way is out, I would argue in every forest, every way is out.
Yeah.
As long as you keep walking in a straight line, you'll get out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can fucking think about it and you can look for the sun and you can try and work out with trigonometry where you're going to. You can just start walking and try and stay in a straight line.
Yeah, nothing moves without movement.
Just do something. Like, hard work works every time.
Mm-hmm. You can pick a path after.
Yeah.
What's a common piece of advice that a lot of people give you, or even simplify it, what's the worst piece of advice you've had? What's the piece of advice that's just a load of horseshit?
Nothing comes immediately to mind, but probably just because of the proximity of the conversations that I've had,
Mm-hmm.
the sales wisdom of selling,
Mm-hmm.
I can't escape, because selling is everything. Like, it's, you asked me to come here. Do you remember my first response?
Yep.
Interesting. What makes you think I would be a good fit?
Yes.
Like, sell it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get a bunch of those messages.
Yeah.
So selling is everything. If your intent is always to sell rather than to be hired, you're already up shit creek without a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal now is genuine curiosity with the intent to be hired by the right person. So the bad advice is just go and sell.
Mm-hmm. So before we go, I've got a couple of, I guess, reflective pieces.
Okay.
If you could send a 60-second voice note to Matt, who was way at the start, what would be the core message of that?
What's up, Shagger? You got this. Keep going.
What would you not say because it would ruin a valuable life lesson? Because obviously foreshadowing's great, but sometimes you've got to go through it.
What would I not say that would ruin a valuable lesson in the future? Okay, I've got a lesson in my head now. So don't be afraid to hire a team, because if it's difficult and finding the right people is hard, and that you might find that people don't treat it with the respect that you feel like it's deserved.
What's one thing you want people to feel after listening to this?
That they can run through a fucking brick wall. They just have to choose.
So, one more thing before we wrap up. It's quick fire. What's a book that you're rereading?
The Sweaty Startup by Nick Huber.
What's one habit you'll never give up?
Training in the morning.
What's the next personal challenge you're excited for?
Buying a commercial property.
So last thing, everyone I interview leaves an anonymous message for the next. It can be advice, question, mantra, whatever you want. The last person said, I am your idea. One day you'll look for me and I'll be gone. What would you like to leave for the next person that sits in this chair?
Didn't realize you had Gandhi on last time. Mine would be this. Let's run with it. You're the only problem you'll ever have, and you're the only solution you'll ever need. So when you finish complaining about it, all the hard work still needs doing. You can complain and do it at the same time. Choice is yours.
Matt, this has been brilliant. Thank you for the honesty and all the frameworks here. If you want to follow Matt, where can they find you?
On Instagram, Matt_Optimize. Same on YouTube. That's where you're going to find us.
Awesome. Thanks so much.